In 1648, a young King Louis XIV and his mother, Queen Regent Anne of Austria, received a petition for the creation of the Royal Academy of Painting and Sculpture. The petition, presented by courtier Martin de Charmois, boasted signatures from French artists who'd grown tired of the old guild system, artists like the future first painter to the king, Charles Le Brun. Yeah, they got me on that one. Louis, Anne, and the royal court approved, thus granting artists more freedom, fame, and fortune, making sweet propaganda for their divine king. In 1667, crowds of wealthy aristocrats flocked to the Louvre for the first annual Salon. Paintings adorned the walls of the salon from floor to ceiling, packed tightly together, each one carrying the hopes and dreams of its painter. Everyone seeking the patronage of these esteemed and wealthy guests to propel their careers. This style of displaying artwork would be dubbed the Salon Hang. In 2002, Mr. Krabs made SpongeBob and Patrick paint his house. Season 3, Episode 10, Wet Painters, is an undisputed SpongeBob SquarePants classic. Here it is winning Best Episode That Starts with a W on the SpongeBob subreddit. It's without a doubt one of the early favorites, truly just a tight 11-minute masterclass in comedic structure, but that's not what we're here for today. Business is slow at the Krusty Krab, so SpongeBob, and Patrick for some reason, is given a new task for the day. Mr. Krabs' super special secret assignment for our two goobers, which someone so rudely spoiled earlier, is to paint the inside of his house. He hands them 2 buckets of permanent paint, and warns them not to get paint anywhere paint doesn't belong, or else. They head inside and, oh god, Salon Hang.
Mr. Krabs sure has a lot of expensive treasures to drip paint on.
They got a lot of work to do, taking the art down, remembering where everything...
We're not getting paid to move stuff.
Oh, well, glad that problem's out of the way. Chaos reigns in the Krabs' residence. The episode is a roller coaster of gags and high-stakes, high-stress hijinks. From the struggle to open the paint can safely, to the first brush stroke, to the bubbles that pop and paint every bit of wall and 0 bits of anything else. Well,
What's that?
the boys get a tiny speck of paint on Mr. Krabs' first dollar, which naturally they make way worse trying to hide the damage. This part also has my favorite bit, where Patrick pitches the idea of replacing the dollar with one from his wallet before spending the dollar at the vending machine, which Mr. Krabs just has in his house. Makes perfect sense when you think about it.
Hello, I like money.
Anyway, the star of the episode is undoubtedly the gallery walls themselves. As a kid, I was utterly fascinated with this interior that looked like it came straight out of one of those I Spy books. I remember making my own salon hang in my room with SpongeBob sketches I would draw on copy paper. And as an adult too, this episode is the reason I know what a salon hang even is. It's obviously the reason I'm writing these words right now. In 1737, the Salon, formerly an event for the elite, opened its doors to the general public for the first time. Following this democratization of art appreciation was the birth of European art criticism. And now, almost 300 years later, the first SpongeBob SquarePants art journal. The Salon Hang is so emblematic of 17th to 19th century Europe, but after Western culture moved away from the more conservative era of the Salon, embracing Impressionism and later Modernism, the Salon Hang style, this iconic cultural and aesthetic signifier, found itself detached from its original foundation. Salon Hangs today don't stink of the same elitism and desperation. Instead, they feel more playful and exciting compared to the new traditional norms. But in Wet Painters, the Salon Hang plays both roles. The layout creates visual interest for SpongeBob's younger demographic. It complements the loose, playful visual language of the show, but at the same time, the Salon Hang, with all its ties to ye olden days, suits Mr. Krabs as an older, more conservative character himself. One important thing to note is that the arrangement of art hanging in the salon wasn't random. Not only did paintings need to be approved by the Royal Academy's jury, there was a strict hierarchy enforced by the salon. At eye level were the historical paintings, the most intellectual of paintings. Just below them are the portraits, still pretty important, especially if they featured an important person. Then came the landscapes and genre paintings placed around those other two. Finally, the most lowbrow, low skill of them all, still life paintings, not my opinion. These were hung in the lowest and also the highest or skied positions where few would ever pay attention to them. What you saw when you gazed upon the myriad works of the Salon was the story of French greatness under the kings and emperors. That specific level of organization you definitely won't find in Mr. Krabs' humble abode. Instead, Mr. Krabs' salon hang plays an antagonistic role in the story of our duo's struggle. The whole episode is SpongeBob and Patrick contending with this oppressive presence in the house, towering over the pair, this impossible challenge they have to somehow overcome. It's designed to overwhelm the senses. The art is arranged without rhyme or reason. Your eyes can't seem to settle anywhere. The dimensions of the room also fluctuate wildly throughout the episode. The more stressed SpongeBob and Patrick are about having their hindquarters extricated from their bodies and installed as decorative accessories, the higher the walls seem to climb. SpongeBob and Patrick don't dare lay a single finger on anything, except $1, and we all know how that had them acting. Captured here is a sense of fear and respect for Mr. Krabs and his things. The sheer amount of history behind these artifacts imbues them with a kind of power. Every piece of art adds to the legend of Eugene H. Krabs. That and the fact that it's way easier to animate when the things in the background actually stay in the background. You're not really meant to pay attention to any particular piece. There's unfortunately no singular artwork I would call a gold mine for meaning, but let's give it a go anyway. First, the obvious. Mr. Krabs is a greedy hoarder. Once he gets his claws on something, he's not letting go. Naturally, his home would be quite maximalist, full of art, treasures, trinkets, and knickknacks everywhere you look. Mr. Krabs is also a former Navy cook and/or a pirate, so of course a lot of what's going on the walls reflects that. While salon hangs usually consist of paintings, it's not necessary for one to include only paintings. Any media will do, as long as you can slap it onto a wall, and Mr. Krabs has plenty of that. Lots of ships and bottles, maybe he was whittling them at sea, maps, anchors, nautical-themed clocks, shells, money. Guess that's his second $1. Oh, wait, where'd the ship go? Old bottles of unknown substances. Other common motifs in this room are the hooks and fishing lures. Well, that's kind of suspicious. The more you look, the more the villainous pirate life starts to make sense. Focusing on the paintings and/or photos, we find that they also trend towards the maritime lifestyle. There's art of non-anthropomorphic sea life, the B tier of sea creatures in the SpongeBob universe. Or maybe that's Pearl's mom, who really knows. Then there's portraits of pirates or sailors that Mr. Krabs likely once knew or respected. I'd argue these are the most eye-catching pieces in the Krabs salon. Also framed are landscape paintings and photos. Here's a photo of the Krusty Krab. All the portraits are very nicely framed. I really enjoy the variety of ornate frames he used. Other works like the maps and chests and miscellaneous maritime motifs are often seen painted on parchment and given equal respect on the walls. Bonus round. In the boys' last-ditch effort to hide the soiled dollar from Mr. Krabs, they place a stack of paintings over it. First, we got this sad clown. I imagine that's like a Weary Willy inspired thing. So this is obviously Cars 1. We're predicting the future on this one. I remember my mom took me to the theater to watch Cars 1 and I missed the ending because I had to use the bathroom. I was pissed at my bladder. Wait, Frank Lloyd Wright windows. Fun fact, in the storyboard for the episode, we can actually see it was originally supposed to be a Mondrian. A banana, a reference to potassium. Warhol, Velvet Underground. I mean, today this is just the annoying art discourse starter 9000. Next.
Oh!
Hey, I know that guy.
Hi, Mr. Krabs.
If any smart people caught anything else, feel free to share your knowledge with the world. The episode ends with Mr. Krabs revealing that the paint actually comes off with saliva. He just told them it was permanent to mess with them. SpongeBob and Patrick storm off. Any remaining respect for Mr. Krabs and his art-filled home go with them. Mr. Krabs bursts into laughter, saliva spraying all over the walls, stripping all the fresh paint away. He sits alone in his house, paint and spit dripping all over his beautiful salon hang. Ah, crud. I really gotta learn to say it, not spray it.